to check in on the bushfire situation. And one of the main concerns in New South Wales today is the Gospers mountain blaze, also known as the mega fire. Charlotte Mortlock is there for us now. She's joining us live from Bilpin. Charlotte, there's plenty of townships threatened by the flank here and strong winds feared later today.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. Unfortunately, some very worrying conditions. Things really have started to flare up here over the past hour or so as we see the temperatures rise and also the winds really picking up. Now, those townships that are under threat today are going to be Bowen Mountain, also Kurrajong, and here where I am in Bilpin. Now, Bilpin, parts of it have already been decimated by this blaze. You can see some of the devastation that has been caused by that. A car there that's been completely burnt out. Also, this home that has been severely damaged by the Gospers mountain blaze, and then an outhouse here that's been completely destroyed. You might be able to see some of the cooking utensils and normal signs of regular life, but this house has had to be abandoned with the family fleeing due to these conditions. Of course, this bushfire, it's now burnt through around 415,000 hectares. Now, to give you a comparison, last year, the entire bushfire season, we saw around 280,000 hectares of bushland scorched. So this mega fire is absolutely huge. We've seen around 7 or 8 fires combining, and it is a very problematic one for fire crews trying to really, I guess, get the upper hand on this and strengthen containment lines. But it is a very hard day for them. We've seen the mercury here go to around 40 degrees, and that's actually above what it was expected to get to at 39 degrees. Today we'll also see the winds picking up, averaging to 40 kilometres an hour, but we could see gusts well above that, which is a huge problem for firefighters on the ground. Residents, many of them have taken the day off work. A lot of them evacuated last night. Some of them have left early this morning, but they've been spending the day on their roofs, watering them down, really clearing out gutters as well, trying to do the best they can to prepare themselves for what is coming this afternoon. We know that some fires already have been elevated to an emergency warning. At this stage, there are 3. This fire is on a watch and act level at the moment, but it could be increased later today.
And Charlotte, you mentioned the containment lines there. Just tell us, is that what crews are doing now? The fire is burning away inside the national park, and is it a matter of loss, Charlotte, there? I'm sorry, but I think we've got you there audio-wise, Charlotte. And are they burning fire breaks, clearing fire breaks to try and make sure the fire, if it does turn in their direction, that they can stop it spreading any further? Mm-hmm. Let's move on there. We've lost Charlotte Mortlock. What we want to do now is go to RFS headquarters. Now, emergency warnings have been issued for 3 out-of-control bushfires across the state of New South Wales. A state of emergency has been declared as extreme heat and strong winds fan the flames of more than 100 fires across the state. Stella Todorovic is at RFS headquarters. Stella, talk us through these current warnings.
That's right, Chris. Fire activity is picking up, well and truly picking up across all the fire grounds. We've got 3 emergency warnings in place, and I'm going to talk you through those, Chris. We've got an emergency warning for the Currowan fire on the south coast. The Kings Highway remains closed. This fire has burnt nearly 100,000 hectares and has destroyed 15 homes this bushfire season already. An emergency warning is also in place for a fire burning at Tianjara in the Shoalhaven region. This fire is spotting ahead of the main fire front, and residents in Jerrawangola and Wandian are being advised to shelter in place. A 3rd emergency warning, Chris, is in place for that fire at Greenwaddle Creek. This fire has burnt through almost 200,000 hectares and is out of control. There are concerns this fire will merge with that one at Gospers Mountain burning northwest of Sydney, where Charlotte has been there for us today. The Premier has announced, as you mentioned, a week-long state of emergency. It's the 2nd state of emergency in 1 month. And today we are seeing intense heat, strong winds and low humidity. Temperatures are hitting in the mid-40s in parts of Sydney. Let's take a listen to what Premier Gladys Berejiklian had to say this morning.
The biggest concern for us over the next few days is the unpredictability. With extreme wind conditions, extreme hot temperatures, we have a good idea, a good sense of where the most concerning areas are. But again, when you've got those turbulent wind conditions, embers and spot fires can occur very unpredictably.
We are expecting throughout the afternoon for that southerly change to come up through the south coast and impact across some of these fireground areas. which will provide for very volatile conditions, very dynamic conditions, and of course they're very dangerous conditions for firefighters and all those affected by these fires. It's going to be a long and difficult afternoon.
Residents in Sydney's southwest this morning woke up to air quality more than 10 times the hazardous level, and it's only expected to get worse as this bushfire emergency unfolds. We've got a few days here where it's going to be dire. Chris, Saturday is expected to be the worst day, and Acting Prime Minister Michael McCormack, he was briefed here at the RFS a short time ago as questions have been raised as to the whereabouts of Prime Minister Scott Morrison, who is believed to have taken a holiday. But Michael McCormack says that Prime Minister Scott Morrison is being briefed hourly and daily and is well aware of the situation here in New South Wales, and he's doing everything he can.
I'm the Acting Prime Minister. I'm here at the State Control Centre. I'm with Commissioner Fitzsimmons. I've got Rob Cameron from the Commonwealth level, the Director-General of our Disaster Management Services here with me as well. As I say again, the Minister responsible for these sorts of things at the federal level, David Littleproud, is doing everything that he can in conjunction with our state authorities.
There are almost 100 fires burning right across the state, from the Queensland border all the way down to the south coast. That emergency warning in place for the Currowan fire. We are going to see conditions ease slightly tomorrow before deteriorating further on Saturday morning. Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Stella. We know, of course, this is putting a lot of strain on resources out in the field. There have been firefighters come from other states. They've been rotated through. They've even come from overseas. But you've been back and forth over the past few weeks to RFS headquarters, and the professionals there behind you, coordinating equipment, keeping an eye on the weather and resources with 100 fires going. Give us a sense of what seems to be a sort of studied calm there. Has that changed over the period?
Today has by far been one of the busiest days that I've personally seen here at RFS headquarters. They have absolutely everybody on the ground here today, from everyone that's working in parks and recreation, animals and wildlife, and of course all the personnel, the fire chiefs that are personally sitting here and monitoring and controlling the conditions that are out there, and the crews on the ground. We've got more than 2,000 firefighters, and the Defence Force is also on standby to help and assist further in any way that they can. So it's really all hands on deck here, Chris, and I've definitely seen that firsthand.
Thanks so much, Stella. Really appreciate it.